Hey, what's up guys, it's Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video today. It has been a while. How is everybody doing? I'm back, kind of. I didn't actually go anywhere. I'm streaming all the time, as mentioned before. You can check that out in the description. But what's more important today is actually the new map and Dva Cinematic, which have both just been released. Now, one thing that's really important to note is that the dance machine on the downtown map actually works. So if you go here, see if you can beat it, tell me if anything cool happens. I couldn't do it. I sucked at it really bad. But what I want to do is give you guys a little bit of a tour of the new map. It's looking really, really cool. It's a control map, or King of the Hill. So you've actually got 3 different sections to the map. The first one I'm going to show you is downtown. Then we'll go into Sanctuary, and then the Mecha base, which is also really, really cool. So what you'll notice straight away about this downtown map is that the exits from both spawns are actually quite claustrophobic when you start going down the corridors. Now remember, the King of the Hill maps are always symmetrical, so when you get past the halfway point, you're just going to get the same thing on the other side. You've got these little stairways up and down, and also these extra little stairways, which you can see just here, but they don't actually go anywhere. They just go up about 5 meters and then come out again. When you get down near the main point, you'll see that they've got a magnetic train. I do not advise jumping in front of this because it's not going to be a good day for you. This, of course, will be used for boops, for Lucio and other heroes alike that have that tool. However, it's not right next to the objective, so I don't think you're going to see people being booped off as often as you would on maybe, well, on Ilios. There is a subway section that you cannot get around to, and as I say, round to the sides are these different stairways, but they don't actually lead anywhere apart from the stairs that go back up to the spawn. Both sides do sport a staircase to actually get you to some high ground, which you'll see here. And this also has some high ground, which is going to be great for sniper perches or just for Winston to hang out before he dives onto an enemy team. And of course, you can see that there's a big advantage on this high ground right above where the point is. This is going to be everyone's main point of contact. It's a little bit like the Oasis map, where you always want to be on top, because it gives you a massive advantage over the enemy, especially when they're trying to retake or you're trying to set up. There is also a cinema where you can see the different posters and things, but nothing else really happens around this area, and then we kind of loop back around to the original spawn point. So this map has quite a lot of high ground advantage that you're going to want to utilize, and I think that this map looks really good. Of course, we will test all of these more in depth and do a review and guide of it when we know a lot more. Now, the next map is Sanctuary. Now, this map's really good, and the first thing you need to know is that the drums actually work. As soon as you leave the spawn doors, though, you can't help but feel that Hanamura nostalgia, you know, the map that everybody loves not getting through the choke point. This actually looks amazing, this map, and there isn't just one choke point, which is great. So you'll see that we can loop around the back of the temple. There's also the option to go under the temple and then on top of the temple too, where there's actually a big health pack. The middle section has this big drum to run around. Now, this doesn't move or change, and I say that because you'll see on Mecha Base that there is actually some moving cover and things like that. Moving on to the other side of the drum, you'll see there's another area that you can fight in, and then there's also actually a mini health pack. Now, a lot of the way that this game is designed sometimes limits what they can do when they create these new maps. So you'll actually see that this is very similar to the Lighthouse map. A lot of this is laid out in a similar way, even with the boop point being right next to the objective. As you loop back around the other side, you'll see again, it's more of the same. This map is probably the most simplistic one with the least ins and outs and the more obvious routes to the point. I think it's going to feel very familiar when you do play this one, and personally, I'm really looking forward to it. Now, the last map is really, really cool, and even though they're all filled with detail, this one I feel reveals a lot of lore around D.va, and we'll get onto that cinematic in just a second, but you'll see that there's actually all of these different pods. I don't know exactly what they're for, since they usually drive the mechas themselves. Maybe it's for the game, or maybe it is simply just for training, like a simulation. Now, this map's probably the most involved, and you'll see that you can walk up to this right-hand side here, and there's all these different pods and things around, and you can actually drop down almost like a fireman's pole situation into the room where all the mechs are. Now, I'll show you them in just a second, because this is what I was talking about with the moving cover. You'll actually see that every now and then a alarm goes off, and then the cover will come up for the next 15 seconds or so, and then it will disappear. And this is going to mean that you really want to pick when you push the objective on this map, because if you push it when there's no cover, it's going to be considerably more difficult. And the same goes for defending it too, right? If the enemy get up on the high ground better than you, it's going to be very difficult to do anything when there's zero cover. You can't seem to go upwards up the tube unless I'm being really silly. I couldn't figure it out. I tried pressing the interact button. If I'm missing anything there, please let me know. And then you'll see the map wraps back round in a symmetrical way round to the other side. But what I do show you is actually the other routes that you can take. So one of them is directly underneath, and what this will do is give you the opportunity to fall to your death if you're not careful, but it also gets you the fastest direct route to the point. So this is where a lot of people will probably try to go when the map comes out. However, I think that the high ground is probably going to be your best choice. And then there's also a wraparound all the way around the edge of the map as well, but the only access to this is by going up them initial stairs that we went down before, or came up should I say, from spawn, or you can go underneath and then wrap back around, but I don't really think that that's an option. So let me know what you think. First impressions on these maps, guys. There's going to be a lot of lore and stuff involved, especially on this map, and I'm going to look into them and then get back to you on how this might hint at either new heroes or skins or anything like that. And speaking of new skins, there's a lot of stuff in the D.va Cinematic that people are going to be talking about. So this is a spoiler alert section. I'm not going to talk in massive detail, but the new cinematic has just been released. You should go and check it out before I say any more. So that's your chance. I'm going to talk about it now. So D.va's new cinematic, where she is defending Busan against the evil Omnics, is amazing. You guys should check it out. Now, we don't actually learn a lot more than what we already knew about D.va. There's a few things like the people she hangs out with, and of course, great animations on her fighting the Omnics. But my main question, I think, is right at the end where she's in a cast, are we gonna actually get a skin of this? Because I would buy it. Now, I don't know how they would design the mech, since the mech technically blew up, but some kind of like really damaged up mech, or maybe even the mech could have a cast on just for comedic effect. That's what I took from this, guys. I watched the cinematic and thought this was really cool, but I want that skin. That's just the nerd in me, I guess. I love skins in games. I know they cost money. I know people don't necessarily like buying loot boxes for them. Not everyone, at least, but I like skins, and I would like to see that turned into a skin sometime in the nearer, not later future. Now, there's a lot going on this week, and we've got some good content coming to you guys kind of related to this event that we're not disclosing yet. If you guys have missed me on the channel, I am still going to be here occasionally, but you do need to check out the stream that I do. It is a variety stream. Do not do a lot of Overwatch on there, but it's been going really well, which is why I'm really sinking a lot of time into that. I'd love to see you guys come over, but I understand if you don't, and I'll be back here whenever I am needed and whenever I can, because I do really miss being on this channel all the time. So let us know what you think, guys, to any of this stuff in the comments section down below, and you're going to want to drop a like, and drop a like for me. I haven't been here for ages. Like, get 1 billion likes. That'd be great. As always, you're going to want to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.